Front Stoop, what is popping with you? It's your boy Sim. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Tony Crow. We got E-Rule. Savvy D is in the building. Well, coming back into the building. And we're going to do an initial reaction to this King's disease joint, ladies and gentlemen. Tony, what's popping with you? E-Rule, what's popping, man?
Salute, Sim. Yo, Black, it's time. Front Stoop, we here.
Yeah, well, thank you for welcoming me to the show, man. It's my first appearance.
Yeah, no doubt.
Appreciate you guys.
No doubt. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're doing an initial reaction to this joint right here. People probably think we crazy, but what's your thoughts, Tony? What's your thoughts on this album? Off the jump.
Salute to Nas. Had to throw in the Mets fitted to represent. I think it's better than the first one off jump, off one listen. And you know, I was a fan of the first one. Don't get it. That's a compliment saying it's better than the first one. Like I think he surpassed it. I think it's vintage Nas. I think the first album he went into Hit Boy's world, and I think in this one, Hit Boy kind of came into Nas's world, and I think the beats reflected that, and that is also a compliment because I enjoyed the beats. I know Nas gets a rap for having, not picking good beats.
Yeah, yeah, he gets that rap all the time. E-Rule?
Well, I gotta come clean to start this whole thing, man. I'm not a Nas fan. You know, Illmatic. You know, you can go down the whole thing when we do the full breakdown.
Ooh.
But just like when you're talking about complimenting, to compliment them for me saying that, to compliment them, that first joint, as soon as it came on, he started rapping. My head was doing like this, you know. Because I think he was in his bag. He, like you say, vintage Nas. I think this is the Nas I've been waiting for. Like the ascension from Illmatic to like I've been hoping and praying for him to make this thing into the next level. Man, I feel like this is something like to show the this generation like yo this is a god MC right here, and this is a really good piece of work with great majority of these tracks, man.
Yeah. Savvy, I hope you got a chance to listen to it, man.
I did.
And what are your initial thoughts? And listen, ladies and gentlemen, either tomorrow night or maybe this weekend, whenever, we'll decide. We're gonna do a full breakdown. Right now we're just doing our initial reaction to the album. Savvy D.
I don't know what E-Rule was just talking about. Nazir Olu Dara Jones annihilated yet another 15 songs to give us another fantastic album in year 30 of this career. You know what, man? I don't want to hear any more debates about who the greatest of all time is. I'm sorry. I never want to hear anyone say that other guy's name again. Because this man, let me tell you, when this man gets his scalpel out,
yeah.
Oh Lord, he is efficient, man. He don't gotta do a lot. He does a lot with a little bit. And I dropped my jaw somewhere around here, and I haven't found it since. Tell me something. What was your expectation?
I wasn't sure what to expect. Honestly, I wasn't sure what to expect. One, you got the name King's Disease 2, right? So automatically you relate back to the original album. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, what's it going to be about? Is it going to be remixes? Is it going to be a full album of songs that they recorded together and they said, well, this don't really fit in what we're trying to do with King's Disease? And then, they maybe edited them up and threw them on King's Disease 2. It's hard, so I wasn't sure what to expect. Right? I just wanted to make sure that it was dope. Well, there's nothing I could do about it. I just wanted it to be dope. you know. And my initial reaction, first of all, I think it's dope, right? And I think that, like Tony said, Hit Boy went into Nas's world a little bit more on this album. Nas went into Hit Boy's world a little bit more on the previous album. From the beginning, I think Nas did go a little bit into Hit Boy's world in the beginning of this album. You know, maybe the first 4 tracks or something like that, 5 tracks. You know, as far as the beat constructions are concerned. And then, you know, after YKTV, I thought it went all a deep dive into Nas's world. A deep dive into Nas's world after that. You know what I mean? From Store Run all the way down to Nas is Good. It was like, whoa.
Listen.
Like, yo, and the beats, like, Hit Boy is just blessing Nas with some crazy beats. And you're starting to say, yo, is this a duo? Are these two making a historical run of duos? You know, producer rapper duos.
Listen, I remember we did the pre-show for King's Disease, the first one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about Hit Boy. And I was talking about the tracks that Hit Boy had been releasing up until that album came out, you know, recently. And I remember people was laughing at me. People were saying, Hit Boy ain't got it like that. Well, let me tell you something. All of y'all, I can't wait until you hear the album and watch this show.
Yeah.
Because I got a grudge against people who doubted this duo. He did it one time, and I said, give him his flowers, and now he did it again. The beats on this album are downright inspiring.
Yeah.
And the way that Nas is floating over these, man, it sound.
Yeah.
It got the pen moving, baby.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, the way Eric Sermon and PMD came on, like it was so aggro, bro. Like,
I disagree. I'm a little iffy on that track. I got 2 tracks that I'm iffy on.
Really?
EPMD 2 and YKTV.
I love what Nas did on YKTV.
I love what Nas did on there. Yes, I love what he did on there. You know, the other,
That's
you know,
consensus.
I agree with that.
Yeah. You know,
I like that record in particular, and I'm a fan of A Boogie though, so that may be part of it.
Yeah, I mean, when I look, you know, when I go on Twitter, whatever, there's a lot of people that do like it. I'm not a big fan of that one. I would have liked it to be a bonus track, kind of like Spicy was, you know, especially since it's in, you know, it was King's Disease 2. It seems like it could have been in that same vein.
Right. Right. I agree.
You know, so those 2 tracks, you know, I felt like EPMD 2 was clumsy a little bit. It just felt like it was kind of all over the place. You know, you started off with one beat, and then all of a sudden it switched to the original beat, and EPMD came in, and then, you know, Nas comes in with like a hook, I guess, and then Eminem comes in, and I thought Eminem started off lackluster, and then he came on strong at the end. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know. That one didn't feel...
I'll say this.
Felt a little clumsy.
Real quick, Savvy, before you say something.
Yeah.
Then I can envision a video for that record,
Mm-hmm.
and it and the video changing your mind.
We could see. I can envision. Yeah, I mean that could happen. I can envision myself listening to it more and my mind changing.
Well, first of all, let me stop being rude. You know, shout out to Eru, Die Hard Knicks. Shout out to Tone Crow, Knicks and Bruises. Shout out to Sim, Nothing but Nicks and the Front Stoop Guru. I wanna give some flowers to Prophetic Sim for a second, because you totally called it, buddy. You called it about Death Row East, right? And and, and we're gonna touch on that for a second because I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. My final thought on EPMD2 was I love the verse that Eric Sermon and PMD gave us, right? I wanted more of them rapping on this song. You know what I'm saying? I could have cut a couple of bars of M's verse out and given a few more bars to EPMD, right? And I like what Nas sprinkled in the middle in between them, right? But I'll tell you what, the fact that it started off with that first beat and then transitioned back to the beat for the original makes me think that they had this in the tuck
Yeah,
and
Tony
that
said that.
they oh okay, so Tone and I are like-minded in this regard. I think they gave a version to the soundtrack, you know what I'm saying, Test the Water. I don't know when the Eminem verse became a thing, but when you look at the subject matter that EPMD was rocking with,
That's true.
it seemed like they really had some stuff to get off right there, right? And now I'm just eager to see what this album that's supposed to come out this year from EPMD is going to be. That's my final thought on EPMD 2, right? I had high expectations. I loved what I heard, but it didn't meet the expectations I had set for it. So in that regard, I will agree with you. But Death Row
So
East,
so
I love
let's
that joint. I
I
really
do
do.
as well.
I love that joint. That Death
How
Row
about
East.
we all pick a early favorite
Sheesh.
and an early
it's hard.
least favorite.
That's tough, man.
Oof.
Okay. I can start with that. My early favorite, I think, is my Bible. I think that's my early favorite. I think that's my early favorite, and my least favorite is YKTV.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
I'll take a turn now. I wanna say that I have either Nobody
Yeah.
or The Pressure.
Mm.
The way he started off on The Pressure was just cold, but I would be remiss if I didn't look at Nas's Good and say that that's trying to punch its way up. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I'll do that. My least favorite cuts on here. Brunch on Sundays, like that one went right by me. I didn't even look down at the phone again. You know what I'm saying? When it was playing. You know, and I have to say, you know, YKTV was cool. I felt like we could have definitely got a better performance out of YG.
Yep.
I I had some questions about that selection for the feature when we went over the track list the other night,
Hmm.
and even though it like his voice sounded good, I didn't feel like the direction he took with it was necessarily right for the track. But let me eliminate a track from my favorite. I want to take Nas is Good. Well, no, you know what? I'm gonna leave that right where it is. But I just gotta say, Rare, man, like what he did on Rare was special, bro. Like
Yeah, ain't no lie.
like I haven't heard a flow like that out of Nas in a hot minute, man.
Yeah. Nah.
So you taking Rare?
I have to pick Rare for now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, if I could double down on that, because that's the song I was gonna say. Rare, when that Rare came on, and that first verse,
Yeah.
I was in a trance, man. That first verse, I was
You
like,
that
and
first-
I was doing like this, whatever, and then the beat changed, and then the flow changed, and then the beat changed again, and then the flow changed again.
He was
Yo,
getting silly.
Yeah, he was getting busy, man. But that's the thing. This whole joint, this whole album is crazy. So that when I back to say I'm not a Nas fan, I guess I can get into it. The reason why I say that is because like he'll come out with a classic joint where you just like, wow, this guy is amazing, and then he'll put out some stuff that you just be like, what? Like it's like beneath him the stuff that he would say sometimes. So that's why I got him like that, because he's so good that you gotta have him like that to me. So this to me, this album puts all his peers, especially, and then the young kids, this puts everybody on notice. I mean, you want to talk about the Bible? This right here might be like the Bible for whatever young kids look at and be like, yo, this is a hip hop album, and this is how you gonna get through life with this hip hop stuff, man. This is a really good album.
Yeah.
So
What about, yeah, go ahead, Tone.
I don't want to pick the same one as you, so I'm not gonna pick the Bible. But I think on the Lord, I think I think it is my Bible. But I'm gonna go back to memories. Moments. Was it moments or memories?
Moments.
I'm gonna go with moments.
I like that cut.
Or first listen, I claimed it as my favorite. We didn't get anything past that yet at that point. So I'm gonna just stick with that for now, and then we'll revisit that when we do the full review.
I feel like we're all gonna have new selections when we come back for the full review.
Because I'm gonna be listening to it. When I get off of here, I'm popping it back in my headphones and I'm gonna listen to it again. I'm gonna listen to it tomorrow all day long. I'm gonna drown myself in it, and then I might even try to compare
the two,
set them side by side. You know what I mean, and listen to them.
Wait, my least favorite at the right now is was it Punch Me In, Count Me In. And my only reasoning behind that is I feel like the hook is so long that he kind of like wasted space on the record where I could have took some more bars,
Yeah, they could have cut and dragged some of that stuff, erased it out the track a little bit.
Or shortened it, and I would have appreciated the verses more. But I was just there waiting for the verse, like, come on, count me in. Yeah.
What song was that, Tony said?
Count Me In.
Oh, Count Me. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I think Count Me In, like I said before, kind of sounds like a Lost Tapes track.
Yeah.
Just reminds me of a Lost Tapes type of track. I think it's a dope track, but it reminds me of something that would have been on a Lost Tapes. I also think, just looking at the two albums, I thought that the original King's Disease had the theme a little bit more tied into it. Right. But I need to go back and really listen and break down the lyrics and hear the lyrics to to see where he's going with each joint, and see if it's tied into it. I think Tony had a good perspective on.
Yeah, I think King's Disease, the first one, was a broader spectrum of the meaning of King's Disease and how we all could suffer from it. And I think this one is him personalizing it a little bit more. So he's talking about maybe some of his own experiences with King's Disease. So that's just my theory off of first listen. I definitely noticed some of it in a few tracks. I wouldn't say it's throughout the album. I would have to go back and listen again. But I think it's more personalized to his experiences with dealing with King's Disease.
Yeah, okay.
As opposed to like how we all deal with that.
Yeah.
I have a question for the panel. How do you compare Death Row East to the Queensbridge Politics track?
You
know what I mean? Because I feel like those two tracks exist in the same frame of mind from Nas.
That's a good point.
Well,
where he's touching on history and clarifying some things.
Yeah.
And addressing some stuff.
Yeah. I had been waiting for a while for him to drop a song telling the story about, when him and Pop met.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
In the
everybody
park.
in the park, because Snoop has been telling the story for years.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I've been waiting for Nas to kind of tell his version of the story and whatnot. So I'm glad to hear it, and I want to, of course, hear it, break it down a little bit more. The beat behind it surprised me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I expected it to be something a little more hard, but but then it's got the West Coast, the West Coast thing in there. But I like that track a lot. I like 40 Side too. I love his flow on 40 Side.
40
His flow
Side
on
was
40 Side was hard.
40 Side was hard.
It's hard.
And I knew it was gonna be hard because he named it 40 Side.
Yep. That's exactly what I said right before it came on.
Yeah,
Oh,
word
man.
up.
Man,
Yeah,
what a week for hip hop we've had.
Oh yeah.
No doubt.
What a week for hip hop. The Locks versus Dipset, and now King's Disease too, bro. Like,
Yeah, man.
Oh,
yeah,
y'all heard Jay's album?
Jay who?
Jay-Z, he just dropped tonight too.
you wrong. I can't believe there isn't a Jay song at least.
Hey, don't put it past that something comes out sometime this weekend. You know what I mean?
If Donda had dropped when it was supposed to, we would have some more Jay-Z verses to listen to tonight.
Yeah, that was the rumor.
But guess what? Right now, Donda is Donde. You know what I'm saying? No one can find it. Donde. Where is it?
Donde está.
But yo, I mean, here's what I'm happy about, because whenever Nas drops a dope album, and he comes right back a year later, drops something, I'll be a little shaky sometimes. Like, okay, what's happening? Because usually Nas drops his best music when there's a time span in between. You know. I guess he said, yo, I better capitalize off of the success of King's Disease. I've been able to reach some of the younger fans. Let me capitalize off of it. And now he really capitalized off of it, because he put out a dope album. Younger fans are listening, not listening like they listen to some other people, but they're listening, they're paying attention. And he dropped another dope album. It's like King's Disease breathed a whole nother career for him. Like, now he's ready to go another 10, 15 years.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like he threw the bait out with the first album.
But he hit the. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But he hit the thing on the. You know what I mean, bro?
I was telling Sim, I think he found a zone with Hit Boy, and now he's like, you know what? I'm gonna keep going while I'm in the zone. I'm gonna just keep going.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hit Boy found his essence, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
He found the essence of Nas.
And Nas is not afraid now because he's an elder statesman in the game. His legacy is cemented. He's not afraid to just do whatever he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, if he makes a radio track, he don't care. I'm gonna make a radio track. If I'm gonna make a underground track, I'm gonna make an underground track. He's not afraid to do it. I think back in the day, he did Illmatic. He did what he did. He was, even with Illmatic, he was sticking to a underground scene type of script. And then he jumped out when it was written, and then people was like, "Oh, yo, he's trying to sell out." He's trying to go, make music for the radio, this or that. And it was crazy back then. They were saying that. Now you listen to it, and it's like, damn, when you compare it to the music today, it's nothing like a radio besides the Lauryn Hill joint. If I Ruled the World. And it was like, and then Nas went through where he was trying to find his way. He's seen everybody blowing up. Biggie selling records, Snoop, Dr. Dre and them selling records. And it's like, I can't really, I'm trying to fit and get into that game. And he didn't, it was like, because of the style of rapper that he didn't know how to fit into that and make that music and make it sound good. When he tried to do it, it sounded kind of awkward a little bit. As he got older, he got better at it and understood how to do it. I thought back then he missed the mark on what his formula was to sell those records. I thought his formula was the If I Ruled the World or the Street Dreams remix. I thought that was the formula for Nas to sell big numbers. back then.
Right.
You know, so but still back then he was searching, you know, how to find that balance. Now it's like he found the balance, but really it's like he don't care. He's just putting out whatever he wants to put out, saying what he wants to say, and just being who he is. And, you know, it's working out for him big time.
You know, the funny thing though, his biggest selling record, you know, was "Hate Me Now." Prior to that, he said he wasn't a millionaire until "Hate Me Now."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that record alone boosted his stock, if you will.
Yeah, Bad Boy was on fire then, Puffy and all that.
Yeah.
You know, but
Man,
Sim, like what you said just now about the whole history of Nas. That's exactly how I feel. He just trying to find his way, trying to copy what's going on when he himself is the guy. He's the God MC.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just want him to put like a fire in people his age. Like he's 48. So I mean, like the Big Daddy Kane haven't put out an album in years. So there's rumors that he's writing and trying to find a producer and stuff. So there's a whole different perspective to talk about now as an older person, older MC, God MC, man. There's still something to there's still a story to tell, man. So I just hope that this album, when they hear it, they be like, yo, I'm coming back. That's it. I'm getting in the studio and I'm gonna put together something ill, because this is the bar. The bar is set. That other dude, Jay-Z, he had that one song with Nas, that little verse, whatever. Maybe that tickled Nas and be like, yo, listen, he wanna rap, let's rap. So hopefully, hopefully this gives birth to such great music, especially from the gods out there. Hopefully they come out, man. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, man.
it's been an excellent year in that regard, Evu, because earlier this year we got a killer, fantastic Lloyd Banks album.
Yeah.
And Banks hasn't rapped, man, in like a long time. And when that
He was
came out,
rapping.
came out, oh my God, I had that on repeat for like 2 weeks, bro. I kid you not. But in regards to Nas's career over time, one thing that I always appreciated, whether people liked it or not, or what the reception was, he always took a risk. He
Yeah.
always took chances with his music. And I love a daring MC, and it's like, it's not dissimilar from the way that you would have expectations from an artist. Like, for example, when Kanye came out with Yeezus, people were not expecting him to so rapidly transition to such a jarringly different sound. Same thing with To Pimp a Butterfly. Good Kid, Mad City comes out. They're looking for something in that same vein, but he's like, no, I don't care what you want, what you're expecting. This is what I believe that you need, and I'm gonna give it to you, and you're gonna take it, and you're gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? It didn't always land commercially for Nas that way, but I always felt like the things that he did needed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like he never lost his stature as somebody to look up to, and thereby was influencing a younger generation of artists to not just stick to the script. You know what I'm saying? Try something. You feel me? And I'm glad that he found this combination with Hit Boy now, to where he can really hit a stride steadily. I never saw him as a guy that needed a bunch of different super producers on the same album, even though it would sometimes turn out that way. A guy like him with Hit Boy, a guy like him with a guy like Pete Rock, a guy like him with a guy like Alchemist,
Mm-hmm.
they could do fantastic work together and create these albums that's entirely top to bottom created by just one unit of creators, and then give us fantastic work.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Because I feel like familiarity is at play here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think one, I just think albums are made better that way anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? For a while, I mean, Illmatic was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Illmatic was like the downfall of that. To be
That
honest with
was
you, right? Because
a super producer
he
group album.
exactly he had all these producers on there, and it came out a perfect album. I think the thing about it is that all of those producers, some of those producers were in the studio together, hearing what other people were doing. So it was like, okay, so they worked to match that tone and that feel. You know what I'm saying? But then it got to the point where it was just like, okay, let me grab this beat from the Neptunes. Now let me grab this from Dr. Dre. Now let me grab this from DJ Premier. Let me grab this from Pete Rock. You know what I mean? Let me grab this from the Trackmasters.
Trackmasters, yep.
And then you had all these different sounds, and nothing sounded cohesive. You know, but I think for the most part, when you work with one producer, you get that cohesive sound. And I think Nas is the type of artist that works better being with one person because of who he is as an artist. Like you said, he is an artist and he does take chances. So when you have one producer working with you and you're working with that person, you can flip ideas and you can talk, and you're in the studio and you're hearing all the other tracks you did, and okay, how do I make this idea work within the confines of this album or this project? You know what I mean? So you can put it all together. And so it works out better that way. Because Nas takes chances. I mean, listen, I talk about it all the time. You go back and listen to Hip Hop Is Dead when he, rapping with the voice of a freaking detective from the 40s.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, guess what? Guess what? That same mad science element in his head that creates a song like that, or a song like Al Jarreau of rap, is the same mad science element that creates a song like Rewind.
Exactly.
Or I Gave You Power.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And then he'll take a chance. The song "Makings of a Perfect Bitch."
Oof.
It's one of the wackest songs that Nas ever made. Right? I mean, he's literally talking about how he's Dr. Frankenstein, creating the perfect lady for him to marry, in the middle of the songs, getting married and no one else in the room.
It was
with
bad
Maxwell.
placement, but I don't think the song was bad.
I wasn't feeling that time. I was like,
it was horrible placement.
Yo, I was like, what is Nas doing? I mean,
It's like the Who Would You Smash song on the Ghostface joint.
Yeah, I mean, but I respect it though, and I like the fact that he's not afraid to take chances. Put something out there that you got to be tough in the music world to take chances because everyone's criticizing.
It's funny, Sim. People used to say the same thing about Dr. Knockboots, which again I like that song too.
Oh my God, Dr. Knockboots. I
do like that song though.
I chucked my CD. That was on Nostradamus, right?
No, that was on I Am.
I Am.
That was on I Am. Oh my God.
That was on I Am. Dr. Knockboot.
Yeah, I'm about to go listen to all of these again.
It wasn't that bad, I guess.
Somebody in the chat said Project Roach. I like Project Roach.
Yeah, that song. That's with Busta, right?
Now that's with
Oh no, that's
Fried Chicken is with Busta, but
Busta.
I can't think of it. It's with the Poets. I can't think of the name right now, but yeah, I mean, Nas done threw some stuff out there that made people say, what was he thinking about? But that's the chances you take. You know what I mean?
I have a question. For the panel.
Oh, but before you say that, one other song that's in the vein of those songs, but I think is real dope though, is Queen's Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's a song that is in the vein of,
creativity.
That kind of creativity, taking on a persona, like he did with being a detective or being Dr. Frankenstein, making a woman or whatever. You know what I mean? But the Queens, that song is dope though.
Do you know what I feel like would go well? Because songs like that take imagination.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like very few rappers have a greater imagination than Eminem. So I feel like if Eminem chose like the concept and the subject matter and then got Nas featured on it, and all Nas had to do was just write a verse that goes with that concept, I feel like that would go off.
Yep.
I feel like
agree
that
with
would I feel like that would go all the way off.
Yeah.
But the question I had for the panel, this is not a biased question from Savvy. Is there a cooler guy in hip hop than Nas?
Man.
Like-
Yo,
Like
when he first came
cool.
out, just the hat. Remember, he had the hat with the brim and the
Wait,
fatigues. That was
the-
New York City, man.
the bucket hat. The original, the original bucket hat.
Right. Just cool. I don't know, man. I mean, Nas is a cool dude. Just like cool. Yeah.
Rakim is probably like the coolest because that Rakim is ice cold to this day.
Yeah,
man.
he is.
That's true. That's true. That's a oof. Evil got me good with that one. There's very few MCs that could compare to the cool factor of Rakim.
Yeah.
You know, I have to give you that one, man. But ooh,
But yeah, but fellas, man, you know,
this is a doozy. This like I'm about to have so much fun.
yeah.
Do you know this
Yeah.
is the first time that I heard an album that inspired me to write, and I started writing during the listening of the album? And I never do that because I never want to have influence peeking into my work.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't. Like I couldn't. I had to shake some stuff off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what? Before we get out of here, I want to give some flowers to Lauryn Hill. She got all of her.
Oh yeah.
Oh baby.
Oh yeah.
She got
Listen.
everything off her chest.
She is holding that in.
Listen,
She got everything off her chest.
we need, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, Tony. We are gonna start a petition to get a Nas and Lauryn Hill album. We need
We
that.
need it, man.
We need that. The world needs
Yeah,
that.
I had to put my hands up, man, because I thought I was gonna start choking.
I seen him.
I could keep breathing.
I thought
when she started
Die
rapping.
Hard caught the Holy Ghost. I was like, what happened?
I had to sit down somewhere.
Yo, we needed Nas. Their voices are just tailor made for each other to be on
Just
the
the
same
creativity
track.
too, man.
Yeah, and the thought process behind the meanings of songs and things.
Yep.
We need a Nas and Lauryn Hill album. I don't know if you could get those two. I don't know if you can get them two. Like they both can be, in their
least
own
an EP,
world. You
right?
know what I mean? They both can be in their own world. So
I'll
I don't know
take
if you
an
can
EP.
get them
I'll
two
take
together.
a
I'll take that
track.
too.
A 5 track. It gotta be 5 tracks though.
Yeah,
Bro,
I'll take that.
Don't
If
give me a
Lauryn-
2-piece.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'll
If
take that.
Lauren ever sings another hook in her life, it needs to be on that EP. It
Yeah.
needs to be on that EP.
Right. Big shout out to Xavier Black Wiley. He said Snoop is the coolest guy. You might got us right there. You might got it. Snoop probably
It's
got
like
it.
Cali swag.
Snoop probably got it.
Snoop will go anywhere in the world. As soon as he get off
Yeah.
the plane, he's the coolest guy in the country.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Snoop can go anywhere, do anything. Snoop might be the most famous person in the world.
Yeah.
I
can
can't
go
think of a
anywhere.
more
Most famous person in the
recognizable figure than Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Yeah, he might be.
And everyone's happy to have him. Like I don't know if you realize everywhere he go, people would just let him break the rules. Like yeah.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Right.
drop in the middle of Baghdad. They'd be like, oh, Snoop Dogg.
all of y'all cannot do this, but Snoop Dogg can do
But
it.
still, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And everybody from young people, little kids, to old people, 75 years old, know who
Great
Snoop is.
grandmas.
It's wild. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm about to get up out of here, guys. I'm going to go listen to this album. C-Mac, of course, comes in trolling, said the album is hot garbage. But you know C-Mac, C-Mac. He said it's a joke, though. He said it's a joke. But anyway,
Shout out
man.
to C-Mac, man. Shout out to Vaughn Allen. Shout out to Andy Nowak in the chat. You know what I'm saying? All the way from Poland tuning into the show, man.
Yes.
Hip hop is a beautiful thing.
It is.
Beautiful.
Sir.
It is.
Key to life, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we
away.
appreciate you all. We said it was going to be short, end up being 40 minutes anyway. But we're going to do a full breakdown of this album, a full review and breakdown where we actually break down each individual song.
It's gonna
But
be
these
like
are
150 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple hours.
Thorough.
It's going to be a couple hours. So, get ready for that one. But any last words, Tony?
Yo, Black is time. Shout out to the chat, Sim. Keep doing your thing.
Right. E-Rule.
Yo, thank you for having me, man. This is a beautiful channel, man. I hope you can continue to do more episodes. But a parting shot with this whole thing, we got to take it back to the essence with like the DJ and the MC.
Yeah.
This is what this
Word.
remind me of a little bit with the Hit Boy and Nas. That's the master, of ceremony, but the DJ is the one that controls, everything that's happening. You know what I'm saying? The MC will be nothing without the DJ.
Yeah.
So
No
this
doubt.
is the essence of that.
Very true.
And
Very true. I
Savvy D?
appreciate that. And I want to say Nas is good. Andy's gonna get his chapter in the book of how awesome my friends are. Don't worry, Andy. You know what I'm saying? Nas is good. Escobar season begins again. Okay. And Stoop Kids still, man. Hip hop, hip hop.
No doubt about it. We appreciate you all, ladies and gentlemen. 2:30 in the morning. We got some people jumping on with us to talk about Nasir Jones and King's Disease 2. We appreciate it. We out of here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe right now so you can get our notifications when we get ready to go live. But we out of here. Peace.
Son of a horn player.